Hi, this is Wally. Today is Thursday, August 11th, 2016, and this is the fifth MCR video log, MCR and fats. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not a dietitian, a doctor, nutritionist, a sports trainer for that matter. I'm just somebody that's interested in this stuff and looking to spark a conversation with the people out there that are interested in this stuff as well. So I am here today with Hungry, the wonderful camera person. Hungry, how you doing? That good, huh? All right, good. Maybe you'll join us later. You seem to be a lot like the rest of the people that do not feel like participating in this conversation, Hungry. Understandable, I guess. Anyhow, MCR and fats. I think of the term fat back to when I was growing up. It always had negative associations in my mind. You eat fatty foods, you gain weight, you're no longer happy. It was just kind of it had a very negative connotation, negative almost stigma associated with the word. Now, as we're learning more, or perhaps as media is telling us more of, there are a bunch of health benefits from good fats that you can definitely be taking advantage of if you're doing it right. Just making sure that you're not eating too much of the stuff, as they are calorie dense relative to carbs and proteins, more than 2 times as many calories per gram of fat than there are in a gram of carb and protein. So right, you've got saturated fats, you've got unsaturated fats. Most people know that saturated fats are typically from animal and dairy that tend to lead, there have been direct correlations between those sort of fats, higher intakes of that, and heart disease. Clogs up your arteries. Most people know that. Then there are the unsaturated fats, namely the mono and polyunsaturated fats that have recently been told by doctors and nutritionists that to us, to the world, that actually have a bunch of health benefits. The omega-3 fatty acids, there's 3 of them: DHA, EPA, and ALA. The first 2, EPA and DHA, are found in fish as well as other places, but typically fish like mackerel, herring, tuna, sardines, anchovies, bluefish. Everyone, if you're interested in maximizing your nutrients and fiber per calorie, you should be getting 2 to 3 servings at least of that stuff per week, according to some people, according to some professional sources. So fish is really the way to go. There's supplements you can be taking, fish oil supplements. There's a huge argument that's been going on ever since supplements were created as to whether or not it's better to eat the actual food that contains the element that you're looking for, or if you can take a supplement and get the same health effects or health benefits. That's up to you. That's up to you to answer. I would rather eat the food that has the omega-3, the EPA, and the DHA in it. Which has, there have been studies showing that it lowers the fats in your blood. Rheumatoid arthritis has been improved. It improves mental capacity. ADHD has been shown to decrease. All sorts of fun stuff, in a good way, have been correlated to the intake of EPA and DHA. ALA, the third of the omega-3 fatty acids that you get from vegetarian sources, nuts and seeds, and milled flaxseed, like we have in the all 3 of the wobbles, varying from 5 grams per serving in the original up to 20 grams in the gluten-free. Not only is milled flaxseed loaded with the ALA omega-3 fatty acid, but it's also loaded with fiber. So again, what we try to do and that's why we selected milled flaxseed to incorporate as the main source of fats in the wobbles, is because it's nutrient and fiber dense, fiber with the underline underneath it, because you know, fiber is good for digestive health and a bunch of other stuff. Fiber we'll get into in more detail in future video logs. But the macronutrient caloric ratio in fats, right? So 1/3 of your calories, if you're going for that 1-to-1-to-1 ratio of calories from carbs, proteins, and fats, should come from good fats, right? You want to minimize the bad, maximize the good whenever you can. Maximize the good, you know, good, bad, right? So you try to do that as often as possible, and at least that's what I've tried to do. If anyone would like to chime in with a different suggestion, please do. You know, there are certain times where eating, you know, saturated fats are delicious. Ice cream, for example. I enjoy ice cream. And I know that hungry like ice cream too. We're actually here at Wobble. Little glimpse into the future, looking into a healthy, balanced ice cream substitute, which I think is extraordinarily appealing to me, but whether or not the world is interested in something like that is, you know, so anyway, so the question is if you're able to create an ice cream with no saturated fat, but you want to keep the level of, you know, that 1-to-1-to-1 ratio of calories from carbs, proteins, and fats, which I try to do in everything that I eat, including ice cream if at all possible. So I couldn't find any ice cream that did that, so now I'm trying to make it myself. Or Wobble is trying to, you know, in the test lab. What kind of fat do you use? Milled flaxseed is probably not going to work. Coconut oil is what I've decided to start experimenting with, as it is saturated fat, super high in saturated fat, but it's because it's plant-based, it has additional health benefits for you. I'm still not too sure exactly how that works, how the saturated fat in plant stuff, in plant-based materials is different from that from animal and dairy, because at the end of the day it's still fat and it's still saturated. So that's something, a question that I have that hopefully someone that watches this can answer. So we've been kind of going around in circles here. At the end of the day, make sure you understand that, especially with things like nuts and seeds, they're very dense. So you want to be focusing on, or at least I try to focus on, getting good fats in my diet, but you have to make sure you're getting the right amount. It's very easy to overshoot with fats, especially if you like nuts, for example. Almonds and walnuts, loaded with good stuff, including the omega-3 fatty acids, the ALA chain. But, you know, understand that you want to be getting roughly 15 grams of fat, you know, that equates to, you multiply that by 9, and it's a significant number of calories. So you see people that, oh, well, I eat all these almonds every day, and they still can't seem to lose any weight, and the result, and that's just the answer, is you're getting a tremendous amount of calories. So they're super dense. Anyhow, that's you know, just some food for thought today with the MCR video log and fats. Please chime in, and you know, I hope that you are receiving some benefit from these video logs, as well as from you know, monitoring your own macronutrient caloric ratio. Maybe this stuff is prompting you to take a closer look at what it is you're eating, and I hope that you're finding some benefit out of it. Thank you, and until next time, maybe we'll get hungry to talk, or maybe not.